Wondering what's going on in the greater Boston real estate market for the month of April 2023? Stay tuned and we're going to show you how competitive it is and what you need to know to succeed in this market. For single-family homes in the month of April 2023 for the greater Boston area, the median sales price was again $825,000, which is the same as what it was for the month of March. So from March to April, things were relatively flat. This is also a 2.4% decrease compared to April of 2022, in which the median sales price was $845,000. So what this is showing us is that overall the market is cooling off a little bit and remaining relatively flat year over year. And what we're going to see is as we get further into this presentation, is that there's a couple factors that are going to be at play here, which is the sale to list price ratio and also the amount of new inventory that's available. For April 2023 for condominiums in the greater Boston area, the median sales price was $710,610. This is a 4.5% increase compared to March of 2023 and a 0.6% decrease compared to April of 2022. So things are down a little bit year over year compared to April. We're also seeing that when we look at the sale to list price ratio, we're seeing that year over year it's also being a little bit less competitive. So for April of 2023, for single family homes, the sale to list price ratio was 104%. So this is relatively very competitive again. So this means that on average, homes are going for 4% above what the list price is. So this is a 2.2% increase in the sale to list price ratio compared to March of 2023 and a 3.9% decrease compared to April of last year. So again, if you should be looking at these charts here, what you should be looking at and paying attention to is the trend here. So on the far right side on the charts, we're seeing that things are starting to tick up and seasonally they're going up and it's getting a little bit more competitive. What is the cause of this being a more competitive season? Well, we're going to get to that once we review the listings. For condominiums in the greater Boston area, the sale to list price ratio is a little bit less competitive. That's clocking in at 100.8%. So that means that condos are going for just about right what the list price is. This is a 0.7% increase compared to March of 2023 and a 2.3% decrease compared to April of 2022. So again, similar trend, but it's just slightly less competitive than single family homes, in which it's remaining very competitive and very desirable, especially in the greater Boston area. And now as we shift our focus to what's going on with the inventory in the market, so looking at single family homes, for April of 2023, there was 1,188 new listings that came onto the market. This is a little bit surprising to me because it's a 9.7% decrease in new listings compared to March of 2023, and usually April it's continuing to increase the amount of listings coming onto the market, and it was a whopping 31.3% decrease in new listings compared to April of 2022. So this is really what is the driving force for the market being competitive again this year. So we're seeing that because inventory is really low and almost surprisingly low, that's why we're seeing that there's all of these offers that are going above list price. We're seeing it's a very competitive market again. People are continuing to do things that are to be hyper competitive and stand out, like waiving inspection contingencies, and also on certain situations, especially for single family homes, having language that that buyers will cover a gap between the appraisal price and the purchase price. So now shifting our focus to condominiums and how many listings have been coming onto the market. For April of 2023 in the greater Boston area specifically, there were 1,237 new listings that came onto the market. This is a 10.6% decrease compared to March of 2023, which again, pretty surprising because usually from March to April there's an increase in inventory, and that's also a big number here, 24.9% decrease compared to April of 2022. So for both single family homes and condominiums, we're seeing that there's a pretty big drop in new listings that are coming onto the market, especially looking year over year. So what is the cause for this? How come there's not more listings coming onto the market? Well, we're attributing this to is the fact that a lot of current homeowners have lower interest rates on their existing home than what they're able to get if they were to either move up and get a bigger home or sell and downsize. So a lot of existing homeowners have interest rates in the 3 to 4% range. And if they were to buy a new home today, they'd be getting something in the 6 to 6.5% range. So that is the driving force for a lot of people kind of just sitting tight where they are right now, is because interest rates are higher. So in terms of our expectations and what we're expecting from now through the end of the year, We're expecting that's going to be another competitive season in the spring and the summer. When we say competitive, what I'm talking about is I expect homes to continue to go for above the list price. How much above the list price are they going to go? Probably in the 3 to 5% range. Again, this is really dependent on what the volume of new listings looks like from now to over the next couple months. So I expect what we're seeing this trend to continue year over year. I expect that there's going to be a double-digit decrease in new listings that are coming onto the market, which is going to continue to put upward pressure on the sales price for both single-family homes and condominiums in the greater Boston area, but specifically for single-family homes as well. So if you're thinking about buying, what I'm recommending right now is that people start their search even a couple months ahead of when they think they want to, just to make sure we've got plenty of runway and you're not running up against your deadline if you have any specific timelines in mind. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe for other tips and news in the greater Boston real estate area, and like this video if there was any information that was helpful for you. Thanks, and see you in the market update next month.